Hello, my name is Alexander Ivlev. As a hypnotist, I help people reduce chronic pain without painkillers, without pills, without long therapies, without devices, whatever. And in this video, I will try to answer the basic question: is it possible to get freedom of pain, chronic pain, without painkillers? Yes, this is a very painful question, of course, because people who are suffering from fibromyalgia, they don't know what to do, because if you have fibromyalgia, if you have visited your doctor probably told you there is no cure, there is nothing can completely heal you, but if you change your lifestyle, if you become more physically active, and also if you change your diet, so maybe somehow you will feel better. And of course, medical doctors can offer you as a treatment some medicine in form of antidepressants, whatever. I'm not a doctor. I am not a psychiatrist or psychologist. I am a certified hypnotist who helps people reduce chronic pain with some hypnotic, maybe some self-hypnotic techniques. And now, please understand, and of course, if you are suffering from fibromyalgia, you know that this is not only one problem, this is a bunch of problems. It's called syndrome or symptoms. And of course, your number one problem is chronic pain. Or as doctors keep telling you, there is possible a bunch of painful spots somewhere around your neck, on your back, on your lower back area, on your buttocks, on your arms. So the pain doctors can count at least a dozen of spots that you feel painfully as painful spots, and this is what they call fibromyalgia. And good news, if you want to call it good news, is your fibromyalgia will not become worse. This is not something that is getting worse and worse as years pass. So your fibromyalgia is a condition, and if you are able to reduce your chronic pain, you will become happy, because if you have no chronic pain, you feel good. Or maybe you feel not the 100% pain, but 50% pain, which is half. And this is what many people with fibromyalgia want. They want pain reduction. And also, if you visited your pain doctor can offer you opioids as painkillers. And there is a huge problem with opioids, because they are addictive. Actually, if you start searching on Google, you will find that there is an opioid epidemic in US. opioid epidemic, which means a lot of opioid users are not able to feel better. This is really dangerous treatment with opioids. So, of course, this is your own business. I am not a doctor. Again, I cannot advise you anything. But if you want to reduce your pain with something that not painkiller, especially opioid painkiller, then you may be interested in hypnosis, which is a very, very safe way to reduce pain, especially chronic pain. And now I would like to ask you, have you ever been able to reduce your pain with mindset? For example, something suddenly made you happy about something. You received good news. Right there, right at that moment, you forgot about your pain and you feel beautiful. Excellent. How this happened? You know, emotions, especially good ones, create good feelings, and your pain somehow disappeared or maybe just become reduced. In contrary, negative emotions, especially anger and fear, affect badly your body. Negative emotions of anger increase your pain. You may ask me what to do, because modern life is not happy. I mean, this is not easy to deal with every day. Stress is everywhere. The bad news, negative news. Internet is full of negative news. Everything is falling apart. How to live with this? And here, the big secret for you. You don't have to take care of yourself or go to Hawaii and get lost in some jungle forever. No. But what you can do instead is take care of your mind. Yes, take care of your mind. You know, the better analogy would be, if your mind is kind of library, or let's say bookshelves, take a good look at your books. Most of them may be negative, most of them may be very negative. So get rid of those books and leave only good ones, which make you feel good. And same is true for your thinking. How many thoughts you have during the day that are negative, fearful, because you are suffering from fibromyalgia? A lot, right? Because you somehow are conditioned to experience chronic pain. You anticipate your pain during a day, and when you go into sleep, you anticipate again. This is a bad habit, but you cannot do anything, you think. But I'm telling you, if you begin just become aware that you have negative emotions, you are able to let them go, or at least be aware of them. This will help you later get rid of them, because you are not your emotions. You are the owner of your emotions. So if you are aware of your negative emotions, let them go, because everyone has a choice. Yes, everyone has a choice. If you choose to stop suffering from your chronic pain, then it will be your intention. But if you don't do such intention, don't make a decision, everything will be the same way as is. You keep suffering from your fibromyalgia related chronic pain. And if you don't do anything about it, then who knows what can happen to you. But if you made a decision to stop suffering from your fibromyalgia related chronic pain, then you can and will become free of pain. How soon? We don't know, but this is your first step. And now please let me tell you something about the way I help people reduce chronic pain. As a facilitator of Red Door Community, which is a former Gildas Club in New York, I do free workshops every month for more than 8 years. One of my workshop is called Chronic Pain Relief through Hypnosis. So during the workshop, this is usually done via Zoom. I work with a bunch of people, 5, 7, 12, doesn't matter. And after the workshop, everyone is sharing with us what happened, what kind of experience they have. So when I hear that, oh, my pain is reduced to at least half and a half, I feel better. This is good news. More people say that pain is gone completely. This is wonderful. But I keep telling them, hey, this is not me, because I didn't do anything to you. I just gave you instructions. And if you don't accept them, don't follow them, nothing happen. So the power is within you, your brain, your mind, if you want. I just give people instructions. I talk to people. Or I can say differently, I talk to your brain in order to improve brain activity. Somehow it's changing for good, and your pain sensitivity is becoming reduced. Now you may ask me, what kind of pain sensitivity? Here the fact, scientific fact. You, because you have fibromyalgia related pain, you somehow are sensitive. You are sensitive, too much sensitive to your pain. It's like for somebody else it will be almost nothing, but for you the same signal in the form of pain, for you it's too much. So it's not pain itself, your sensitivity is increased. That's why you feel pain as too much, severe pain. So if you somehow is able to reduce your sensitivity, of course, you feel less pain. You are becoming less sensitive, and your pain, as you perceive it, becomes less, smaller, shrinking. And why this is how this works, why this is possible. Alright, I'm not a doctor, I told you before, but there is a studies performed by American College of Rheumatism or Rheumatology. They say we don't know what is the cause of fibromyalgia, but we know for sure that somehow blood flow reduction to certain muscles creates chronic pain. Blood flow reduction. So what this means? It means your vessels, your capillaries, pipes are becoming contracted, smaller in diameter, and blood flow becomes decreased. So you receive less oxygen. Your muscles here or maybe here, but where your pain is located, your muscles receive less blood, less oxygen. That's why they are painful. So what to do? Logically, you think, so what to do? Okay, increase the blood flow to those muscles. How? No one knows, but I think when I work with people through hypnotic suggestions, by hypnotic suggestions, somehow I influence the nervous system, or maybe blood flow, or maybe brain activity, but it is working as I help to increase or normalize the blood flow to those muscles, and those muscles finally receive normal amount of oxygen, and pain is going away, fading away. You may ask me, okay, I understand, so during the hypnosis session somehow you reduce the pain. How about after session? Will it stay like that, or will my pain return again as usual? And here's the truth. I am not only help people reduce pain, I help people to reduce or eliminate negative self-beliefs, because a lot of people with fibromyalgia do not believe in own success, do not believe themselves, because they are victims, as they think. And guess what? One thought like that can affect whole nervous system, autonomic system. It's like I am no longer a normal, I'm a victim. Immediately your flight or fight response, which is right there, amygdala creates those. Amygdala is responsible for activation, flight or fight response. Amygdala is a part of the brain. Right there, immediately your autonomic nervous system, which is peripheral nervous system, reduce blood flow in muscles, and you feel pain. So one thought, negative thought, create pain. And guess what? If you don't take care of that thought, it become chronic thought. And those thoughts are becoming what? Constant thoughts. And everything that you think constantly become your habit, and all habits are controlled by your subconscious mind. So you're not aware of your thinking if you think negatively. But remember, I told you, you should begin paying attention to what you think and what you feel. If you notice that you think negatively, stop, get rid of it, or ask, do I have to believe that I am a victim? You don't have? Of course. Because scientific data says fibromyalgia is a condition, not an illness, a condition. And the cause of such a condition is not clear, but who cares? Doctors don't know. But I personally keep telling to my clients that your brain is a perfect brain, healthy brain in the world, and that brain, your brain, is also a best paying doctor. Your brain is able to produce best painkillers without any side effects. All you have to do to become the owner of your brain, owner of your mind, owner of your thoughts. Become responsible for what you think and how you feel. And of course, this is not easy for most people, because if you suffer from fibromyalgia, you have no time for working on your mind. But good news is, even if you cannot sleep well, even if you cannot feel good during the day, even if your mind is focused on negative thoughts, make a decision. You still have a choice. Remember that. Make a decision to stop suffering from your fibromyalgia related chronic pain now. I know it by experience, because for members of Red Door community, this means a lot. When I ask them, can you make a decision to get well? Do it now. And if you make a decision, somehow your brain will begin working on your goal. Somehow your nervous system is responding better. Everything, every cell of your body is listening to you. Be careful with your thoughts, with your words, with your emotions. Start working on your mind and your feelings. And even if you are able to meditate, or if you go to yoga class, this is good. But understand, you have a condition, painful condition, but not illness. This will not destroy any cell or any system in your body. This is only a condition. And remember that. If you will improve your sleep, will improve your diet, will become physically active, this is what doctors keep telling their patients, then somehow your self-esteem will be increased, your self-confidence will become better, and you maybe will believe in yourself. And all this will reduce your sensitivity of your chronic pain, and your chronic pain will become nothing. But if you need help, you're welcome to contact me for a free consultation. I will be happy to answer all your questions during the consultation, and if you be happy with my answers, you will be able to make an appointment with me. My name is Alexander Ivlov. I help people reduce chronic pain without painkillers. Bye. See you next time.